Join discord.gg/flatearth and enter a check-in room. Someone will come along and verify you to get involved in the conversation about our Earth.
Whoa. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Roohif.
Hello, welcome, Roo.
Talk to you guys later.
Thank you. Yes, please.
See you, T-Dub.
Who wants to fight?
What'd you say? That was what? Hey, welcome. I've never spoken to you. How are you doing tonight?
Lovely. You were posting some cell nerve stuff, were you? I think.
Hold on, your accent threw me off. I hate to say that. I talked. Are you British?
Australian, like I am.
See, I have some background noise, and I'm old. So, hold on a second. But go ahead.
Posted.
Go ahead, you guys talk. I was just more interested in listening, but yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, that's all right. Your mic's a bit quiet, Roohif.
All right, hang on. Is that better?
Yeah.
Cool. I will speak into the microphone.
Were you asking who posted what?
Oh, Sonny posted something about celestial navigation about hour and 20 ago, 11:46.
Oh, yeah, Sonny's a sailor. So
Yeah. Has Sonny
Being
done
directed.
celestial navigation?
you'll have to ask him that.
Hmm.
I'm not the best person to talk to about celestial navigation.
Yeah. Because the diagrams you posted are wrong. Incorrect.
In what way?
It's not a right angle triangle between the observer, the GP, and the star.
It actually is.
Have you done celestial navigation?
Yes, I have.
Are you able to give a demonstration to us? So if I gave you, or if you took 3 angles, or I gave you 3 angles, can you get your position?
Listen, I did celestial navigation on board a 51-foot ketch that I helped sail from Los Angeles to Martinique, 6,000 miles,
Yep.
when I was 21 years old. So I'm in my 60s. Since I've actually done it that long ago, I've actually refreshed myself more on here because, I was a 21-year-old. It's quite a bit different. And I've actually learned more about what I was doing in here by going back and refreshing myself because I have a lot of life, 4 decades of life in between that period of time, right? I lived on a sailboat for quite a while, my father's boat, during this period when I was sailing and traveling. So, I mean, you could ask me questions, but
Yeah.
I know about nautical almanacs. I know what they're used for, and I know those are static numbers in those books.
Oh, not quite. They do
Yeah.
change a little bit.
They are. They only
They do
change.
change a
They
little
only change by post-diction. They know how they.
That's already getting bogged down in detail.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think what
I don't want to do that either. The bottom
I
line
think-
is how the sextant is used.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can talk about that. When you did it when you were 21, did you use psi reduction tables?
All the tables that you need to have. Yeah, I mean, you have the reduction tables, you have adjustments,
Right.
and work,
Right, but
workbooks,
did you-
things like that. Like I wasn't the skipper, but we worked together, and that was the first time I had ever learned it. I had been sailing since I was 10 years old, starting on the Mississippi River, and so like on the Mississippi and on the West Coast. I didn't do celestial navigation on my father's boat, but I did when I traveled, sure enough. And so me and this guy, we worked together, and we double checked each other's work, right? Anyway.
Let's get to the point, Roohif. Like,
I'm
what are you
trying not to
suggesting?
interrupt.
Like,
I'm
what's that?
asking trying not to interrupt. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
Kind of asking whether he did the method where he was prepared in advance, saying like, here are 5 stars that I'm going to try and find at this time, and these are the angles that I should see them at with an assumed position. Was that the method that you used?
Basically, the way it works is that you do noon shots every day. Right?
Okay, that's a longitude. Yeah, right. That's not what I'm talking about with celestial navigation, though.
Yeah. So if you like, you definitely would be able to pinpoint where. I don't know technical things because I haven't had those books in my hand or the instrument in 40 years. Okay. So it's not like I've been out there yesterday out on the water doing this the whole time. So if you want to nitpick about like reduction tables and things like that, you're talking to the wrong person. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
But what I do know is that you use right triangles. You zero out at the horizon. That's where your zero is set at.
No, it's not.
You make your elevation. Okay, so it's not
Correct. There's dip correction.
That's
dip
not
correction.
No, dip. Listen, dip correction is only your height above water. Yes.
Where's the fucking dip? Where's the dip?
Dip
It's
correction.
below horizontal, right? You understand the horizon is below horizontal.
If you're higher above a horizontal plane, it will. It will.
Yeah.
Just by geometrically, right?
Right.
So you set
so the horizon's not at 0.
You set your horizon at 0. You make the adjustments, for your elevation. Correct.
Right.
Now you can't when you do this process and you get the GP, you have a circle of equal elevation.
Yep.
Yeah. When you do 2 or 3 of those, they cannot have a different elevation. On a curved surface, they would have a different elevation.
You described the process of doing sun meridian passage sites, right? And then maybe a site to Polaris or something.
The moon and Polaris, and double checking. And also, listen, there's a lot of most time when you're sailing, you're near the coast as well. Mm-hmm. And until you go offshore and you're out of sight of land, is only when you're using strictly celestial navigation. But the other time you can be doing the celestial navigation to adjust your dead reckoning position on your chart. And you also use coastal navigation using right triangles laid on their side with known landmarks, beacons, and radio transmissions. Yeah.
Are you experienced in celestial navigation, Roohif?
I have done celestial navigation and I understand the geometry, and it only works on a globe. Yes.
When have you done celestial navigation?
Last year. I own a theodolite. I can take angles to stars.
Sea?
No, celestial navigation is just the process of converting angles to stars into a position. It doesn't require you to be at sea.
It has to be a horizontal plane because that's where you're traveling along, sir.
Well, we disagree on that, don't we?
The whole point of celestial navigation is to fix your location on a horizontal plane, the one you're traveling on.
No, that's not the point of it.
Yeah, nothing else.
It's to find your position on Earth.
No, it's to find your position on a chart that you put straight lines using parallel rules and a compass to find.
Yeah, they were using celestial navigation before they decided to claim that the Earth was a ball. So how did it work then?
I don't think they were doing this process, given that we knew the Earth was a ball pre-BC.
So they never didn't exist. They never guided by the stars. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
they never sailed by the stars.
The process of taking 3 angles to stars and working out where you are only works on a globe.
So they still navigated by the stars.
Yeah, they didn't know it was a globe. They thought the Earth was flat, bro.
Okay. They were wrong.
Yeah, so what's the difference now?
They were wrong? So tell us how they knew Earth was a globe. How did they know this?
We're talking Eratosthenes?
Oh, really?
Whatever, man.
Okay, so
are we going to go 2 hours of Eratosthenes again?
No,
Fucking
I
measuring
hope not.
shadows.
I hope not.
I mean,
We're talking.
you're
We're
a
talking
grown up.
celestial navigation.
You're a grown up adult man, and you're talking to me about something like what the Earth is and if it's round or not with sticks and fucking shadows, bro. Are you
Yes.
joking?
No, I'm not joking. But what we're actually talking about.
This is your technical intellectual abilities is using sticks and shadows to determine the shape or size of something that can work on both the flat plane and a curved surface.
It doesn't work on both. We can talk about Eratosthenes if you like, but it doesn't work on both.
Surface.
What do you mean it doesn't work on both?
It doesn't work if you assume that and take for granted that these distances of these objects, or if there are even objects, that you know what those distances are or know what those things are, like the sun. Yeah, if you assume those, then sure.
The only geometry that works for a linear relationship of 60 nautical miles per degree for any celestial object is a globe with distant stars or sun.
When you assume the globe in the first place. Yes.
No, it's the only geometry that works. It doesn't work with your right triangle.
You have to assume the globe.
Because you're starting off with fudged numbers in the beginning.
Yeah, you're assuming the globe. All those numbers are assuming the globe in the first place.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. Do we agree that in reality...
Okay, tell us where they come from.
Okay, in reality, you sail away from Polaris, it dips 1 degree and you've gone 60 miles. So, so what?
Yeah, exactly.
That geometry, that ratio only works on both.
Are you saying things don't go from a height down 1 degree due to perspective? Is that what you're arguing?
I'm saying that if you're using a right triangle...
stay at exactly the same height.
No.
If you're on a flat surface, or do things go down as you go away from them, or they move away from you due to perspective?
They drop down. They drop down with a trigonometric relationship, not a linear relationship.
Okay, well, tell us where the numbers came from. Tell us
60 nautical miles per degree.
Yeah, tell us where that came from. Where did that come from?
First Eratosthenes, and then you've got the Greeks as well, the Arabs.
That you haven't proven.
Do you not understand the point of that linear relationship, 69 miles per degree? That geometry...
It comes from the assumption of a spherical ball.
No, it doesn't.
59 miles
Mind you, Aristotle's never really showed up in history or existed till the 60s.
80s.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's go Caliph al-Mamun, 820 AD or something. They did a shitload of measurements to verify 1 degree.
Who measured drop over distance?
Me.
You're going to say you, aren't you?
Yes. So you went from Aristophanes to you?
He asked me who's measured drop over distance. I said I have.
Where's your Nobel Prize?
No, you haven't.
Yes,
you assumed drop over distance from a theodolite, which is not designed to pick up drop over distance.
You're just all over the place.
It's designed to measure angles. No, I've been asked a question which changed the topic, right?
Drop over distance.
Okay, so I wrote this in the chat a little while ago. If the Earth is flat, that angle will be X. If the Earth is globe and I've got to take into account drop over distance, then the angle will be Y. All right, can we make some predictions for those angles?
Oh, you can. It's your globe.
Yeah. Well, it's your flat Earth. Can you make a flat Earth prediction?
It's flat.
We don't need to because it measures flat. We just use it as flat.
Show me a flat measurement. What flat measurement are you getting?
Yeah, I'm navigating
on a flat measurement
surface.
Yeah, what is a flat measurement?
And I know, your distance that you traveled, right? Yeah, you have ways of knowing how far. Like on a boat, it's very difficult. Yeah, okay, so you have this dead reckoning, right? But you cannot be traveling on a curved surface and be using right triangles.
Correct.
So show me a triangle. Show me how you get an angle from a curved surface as the adjacent on the triangle, the bottom surface.
First of all, it's not a triangle. That's the point. It's not a triangle.
Well, then you're not in celestial navigation. I don't know what you're using.
Yeah,
that's not how it's done.
Yes, it is how it's done. It's not a right triangle.
Doing it yourself.
I'm not lying about doing it. I have a video where I actually go through the process. I have taken angles from my house and verified that the circles of equal altitude do meet at my house. I've given those angles to another person, and he gave me where I lived.
You still don't have drop over distance.
I've measured drop over distance.
No, you didn't.
Well, you can just wave it away, of course. You wouldn't be flat earthers if you didn't just wave away evidence.
Yeah, you're full of shit. You haven't measured up over distance. You lie. You're lying about it. So show us the information.
Yeah,
Show us
sure.
the
Yeah, what was your distance
Hang on.
to the top of the other mountain?
Between 30 and 50 Ks, I think. Like that.
And what was the difference in degrees?
Very different in degrees. I'll post a video. 1 second.
No, just tell me. I'm
Well,
driving.
there are
so.
multiple measurements, right? I think there are about a dozen measurements in the video. But the
Yeah, well,
first
you can just tell me if you want.
Yeah, the one where I actually walk through the maths of it, the flat Earth prediction. So one where I was 901 meters elevation.
And where'd you get that elevation from? Sea level?
Yes.
Great sea level.
Right.
The level.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's the difference in angle then? From what are you saying it should be?
Right. So on a flat Earth, I ignored refraction because that will actually hurt your team. The predicted angle was 0.357 for this particular.
You ignored refraction because you can't
Because what?
calculate it. That's why.
No, I can.
You can't calculate it. That's why. Oh no, you need a radius.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't need a radius. I don't need a radius to model refraction.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, well, what's the angle difference anyway?
Okay. So
wait, you just pick and choose when you want to use refraction. Yeah?
It makes it worse for you. Refraction makes it worse.
Predicted angle. Come on.
Okay. Predicted angle is 0.
Water is what makes it worse. Why are we fucking talking about land? Do you have every datum point of elevation throughout the whole entire range?
Yeah.
Please.
The predicted angle was 0.
I want every single elevation datum.
I've been asked the question 4 times now by Timbo.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, I want every single elevation datum point, like for every yard through the whole distance. How far is the distance?
I've been asked the question 4 times by Timbo. I'm going to answer him. Okay? So the predicted angle on a flat Earth is 0.357. And then the predicted angle on a globe is 0.248.
What's the error?
Hang on, sorry, incorrect. That was incorrect. Sorry. The expected angle on a globe is 0.233. Sorry, so 0.357 on a
difference of how much? Sorry, I'm driving.
0.12 degrees, so an eighth.
0.12 degrees. That's what you're saying. And what's the error in the theodolite over 50 kilometres?
It's a few arc seconds, maybe 5 arc seconds.
So it's within error, yeah?
No, 5 arc seconds is.
How much is it out of error? What would the error
5 arc seconds?
5 arc seconds.
5 arc seconds is 0.001 degrees, so 1,000th of a degree.
What's your accuracy on that theodolite over 50 kilometres?
Yeah, 1,000th of a degree.
Come on, man.
What do you mean?
It's a construction instrument.
You're hilarious.
Are you telling me that an angle of less than what was the difference? 0.2 of a degree? 0.0?
1,000th.
1,000th of a degree. Yeah. You're saying that you can determine that through a theodolite over 50 kilometres.
Yes.
You're a dreamer, man.
Do you have a theodolite?
Do you have?
I'm a builder. I'm a licensed builder, mate.
Okay.
Do you have all the elevation datum points?
Yep, they're in the video.
Every single one, like per meter. I want like
per meter.
Like that's giving you a lot of leeway.
It's ridiculous, man.
Ask one of your surveyors what accuracy their theodolites have.
No, you're using sea level.
Right.
Yeah, sea level is flat, horizontal level. No part higher than another. No part higher or lower than another is what level is.
Timbo, ask one of your surveyors their accuracy on theodolites, total stations.
Over even 200 meters. Yeah, when we do foundations of less than a degree.
1,000th of a degree.
That's ridiculous,
Well, again,
man.
maybe Google some theodolites and have a look at the accuracy. This is pretty basic stuff.
So it's so flat. That's how we know it's curved, huh?
I'm asking Timbo to ask one of his surveyors what the angular accuracy is of their theodolites and total stations. He's suggesting that 1,000th of a degree is absurd.
See how far in the weeds we are, folks?
Did Timbo go?
The whole audience here, everybody that's listening on all the live streams, hear this, how far in the weeds you have gone.
How about I just post?
How far away from the surface of Earth you have gone?
Yeah, 900 meters, yep.
Yeah, no, you're in your mind.
Sorry, 900 meters from sea level. Sorry.
You're in your mind with error rate and like your error correction and your calculations. You're already away from the Earth. You're in imagination already.
I'm using math to make a prediction for what we should measure on a planet.
You're not talking about the surface of Earth anymore.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Nuh-uh,
because you're using fucking sea level, which is a real thing, and you're imagining that is a curved surface, and the rest you're all just making up because you're going, I saw this mountain for this distance, and I imagine a globe already. So there we go. We have enough drop here. Thanks. You could do that with any place where you have enough drop, real drop of elevation change. You wouldn't know the difference if someone told you there's curved underneath. Like, stupid people are just going to agree with you.
Timbo, can you, later today, Google some theodolites and total stations and get some accuracy figures from them?
Go ahead and ignore
It'll be around $5.
Yeah, I've got the operation manual at home.
Yeah, you're cutting out badly.
You're roboting Timbo.
Badly, yeah.
Yeah, well, all right, I'll get back to you on it. But, cool. I know.
It came back in, Timbo. It's probably okay.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm driving back from the beach.
It seems to be like intermittent when it does, but anyway. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I'm on the highway in between towns. So.
Can I just read
I'll have a look when I get home. I got the operator's manual at home.
Yeah, so this one, I've just Googled accuracy.
But there's no way that we used over 50 kilometres.
Yes, you do. I mean, you don't. Your job wouldn't require it.
Yeah, of course, but we still get errors.
Yeah, and they're measured in angles. So I've just Googled it, right? Leica industrial theodolites are known around the world for being the most accurate with the highest angular accuracy of half an arc second.
Okay, great. So Roohif, you're using angles? Do those angles you're using have curved adjacents?
That's a nonsensical question. An angle doesn't have an adjacent.
No, it's right to the fucking point, right to the heart of the matter.
An angle does not have an adjacent. It's not a triangle. It's an angle.
Yeah, and you have an angle from what?
From the observer to two directions.
Oh, and those are straight lines between all of them. That's a fucking angle.
Right, it's not a triangle. It's not a triangle. It's an angle.
Just draw lines.
No, it's not a triangle. It's not a triangle.
Ridiculous. Yeah, of course it is. If it had 3 points, then it's a triangle.
No, two directions and a point. Do not make a triangle.
And you get those elevations of those mountains you're at with sea level,
right?
And a right triangle. Huh?
No, not a right triangle.
Yeah. How do you think they got the elevations of mountains?
Differential leveling.
From a curved surface?
Yes. Differential leveling does not care
That means
about the
it would be a triangle with a curve fucking adjacent, bro.
No, it doesn't. Do you know how differential leveling works?
No, so not.
Do you understand how differential leveling works?
Right triangle, just like you use a protractor, a sextant.
There's
If you
no
use the right
triangle.
Yeah, it is.
Can you guys hear me now?
You're still cutting out a bit, but yeah.
It's an elevation
With
angle,
your
not
measurements,
the horizontal.
with your measurements, what's the difference in so what per degree is how many meters from that mountain, from the top of that mountain?
When you say per degree, you mean like what sort of angular size is 1 degree at that distance?
Yeah.
What sort of height? I'm not sure what you
Yeah.
mean. Let me have a look. 17, hold on. 1728 angular size. So at 1 degree at 32 kilometers it was. So 1 degree at that distance is 558 meters. How long till you're home? Then you can actually talk.
Difference? How many? Yeah, how many? What's the angular size?
Yeah, you cut out for a bit of that.
Is that better now?
That was. Go again.
It's horrible. I'm 30 k's from Melbourne,
Jeez, all right.
and it's still cutting out. Like, let's call it 40 k's from Melbourne. It's
Yeah.
still cutting out. But yeah, what's the angular size in meters?
The angular size is not measured in meters.
What does it relate to? So you're saying it's a drop, yeah,
Yep.
a difference in this much of a degree. So what does that relate to in meters? Otherwise, it doesn't really matter.
So over this distance, it'd be 7 inches per mile squared. Yeah, so hold on. I'll work that out. 400 times 8. Oops.
No, it's this the size that the theodolite's picking up. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, there's...
So you're saying that the dip angle, so what it should, from the difference from what it should be and the difference from what you're picking up reading is, what, 0.2 of a degree? Is that correct?
0.1 something.
0.1 something of a degree. So what is that in meters?
So how much drop am I expecting to capture?
Yeah.
Yeah,
From 0.1 of a degree, yeah.
Yeah, 1 sec. About 68 meters.
68 meters over 50 kilometers.
This one's over 32 kilometers.
32 kilometers. For 68 meters. And where are we getting these confirmations from height above sea level from?
From differential leveling, which doesn't care about the shape of the Earth.
Yeah. And how do you get that?
How do you do differential leveling?
What's the accuracy in that?
Oh, they tend to be, depending on the class of surveys, but Class A surveys are generally within a couple of millimetres.
Wasn't this in the high desert?
Yeah.
So how far away from the coastline?
Oh, heaps. A few hundred Ks, yeah.
So you got exponential error, yeah?
I don't know.
Got a cumulative error because you got to go from point to point.
No, when they do differential leveling, they go out.
So you're saying these heights are exactly what they tell you they are, because I know that's impossible.
Within a few millimetres, yeah. Depending on the class of survey, yeah.
Come on, man.
Really?
That's ridiculous.
Do you have any surveys on your team?
On my team?
Yeah.
What do you mean on my team? On my building
You're a
team?
builder, yeah. Do you have surveys on it?
They work with the engineers.
Okay. All right. So there's what's called double run leveling, where they test the accuracy of the auto level, and over a kilometre of 30-metre shots, they have to get within like a millimetre when they close.
Yeah, with guides along the way. Yeah. So they set up guides in between to make sure they're shooting level. Yeah.
What do you mean guides?
Guides from your theodolite point to the target.
Mhm.
This is in the setup system. Yeah.
Are we?
You've got to set up your guides.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by guides.
So you know that your level is level. If you have an auto level, and then you got to correct it with your manual leveling system too. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, because your auto level's not always level.
no, but you know how to correct it, right?
Yeah, you correct it with guides.
You referring to a 2-peg test?
Look, I only work with it over a couple of 100 meters because that's what it's made for. But
Well, theodolites weren't made.
so you're saying over a couple of 100 meters, they can get within 2 millimeters of altitude correctly.
The differential leveling, right? You take about maybe even 30 meters. I think the spec for differential leveling. Over 30 meters, you take several of those shots and then close. You come back a kilometer, right? And the accuracy has to be within a millimeter of the closing point.
Over what? Over a kilometer.
Over a kilometer of incremental small shots. All right, so you do about 30 setups, and you have to close within a millimeter. That's the required accuracy of an auto level.
Okay.
So if you look up double run leveling.
Oh, that's all right, man. I'll take you on face value.
All right. But you know the idea of like doing a loop.
Have you got a screenshot? Have you got any photos looking through the actual theodolite?
In California, or one's just in Sydney here? I can show you.
The one that you took the video doing.
Probably. I would have to search for them though. I can give you stats through mine. There's some video through the telescope of the theodolite in that YouTube video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch your video when I get home, I think.
Yep, that'd be lovely. One more view, 5 more cents from NASA.
Oh, you get paid. We get demonetized.
It's funny, isn't it?
Jedi, welcome back.
Well, thank you, mate. How you doing?
Lovely.
Lovely.
I'm in the mood for a fight, so
I'll be back.
all right. See you.
Cheers, Arnie. Nice one.
Yeah. Thanks, Timbo. We get demonetized because we're so ridiculous, huh?
I actually disagree with the demonetization.
Like flat Earth is just stupid, huh? Right?
I think you've been lumped in with other conspiracy theorists, like false flag psyops, 9/11, the C word, blah blah blah. I think you've been lumped in with them. I mean, there is overlap, right?
It's just interesting that you say things like that, and obviously we must believe the official narrative with regards to 9/11. It just beggars belief that. Sorry, mate. Sorry, you crack on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I disagree.
I actually want to ask you about that now. Fucking hell, I'm so sorry. What are your thoughts on 9/11? And I know it's not part of the survey, mate, so just quick.
My brother-in-law is a bit of a conspiracy theorist, and he asked me to look into a few things.
Right.
He gave me like a list of points to choose from, and I chose. Oh, what were they? One of them was like the F-16s being scrambled from Andrews or something, and how they supposedly were delayed or something like that. This is like a decade ago, but I looked into 3 of these things.
Yeah.
Found the explanations quite reasonable, and that's it.
So, Islamic fundamentalists with box cutters took down 3 buildings and hit 2.
Yeah.
according to you. That's fine, man. It's not a point to pick on. It's just interesting for me. That's all.
Yep. Planes went into buildings.
Love the way that you said that with complete and utter certainty.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't even want to, but you're making me do it.
I know it's a very touchy topic. I want to say something on. You're just like, but I gotta be careful.
Is it on YouTube? Like, are we being broadcast to YouTube? Is that a bad thing if we talk about it?
Some parts of it can or can't be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually, when it comes to names or proper nouns, things like that, you have to be very careful, or they will demonetize you, or just completely strike you. Because then it gets into the realm of slander.
Yeah.
I will say though, with that being said, if a plane hit it, you would think the explosion that happened inside the building wouldn't be an equal, ringular explosion around all four sides. You would think it would come out of the hole that was created, and it should be more pronounced from there.
Yeah, I don't have many. I don't have a huge sample size of planes going into buildings to know what to expect.
I will say from just like military experience and like explosions and being in like condensed buildings and things like that and seeing all that, a lot of that just doesn't add up from, again, what you can experiment with and what you can see and observe versus what we're being shown / told.
Jet fuel doesn't melt steel.
Steel beam.
Okay. Okay. I'll go into
Here's a good question. Do you think governments lie to you, really?
Do I say again?
Do you think governments lie to us?
Oh, of course they do. Yeah. We will differ on the degree, that's all.
Yeah. So that random grey area where you would say they won't lie about this, but they will lie about that. I get you.
Yeah.
Go on.
You'll say they lie a lot, and I'll say they lie a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. I still can't get my head around this 2023 and people still believe that fucking story. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Oh.
Don't
Have you
don't
still
even
got
bring up the
posting
person.
perms, Roohif?
Say again?
Have you still got posting perms?
I don't have image posting perms, no.
Okay,
got a
so
new
what's
account
the
to see,
channel? What's your channel?
Just Roohif.
Oh, it's just Roohif. Okay. All right, sweet.
Someone could give me image posting perms, that would be lovely.
I'm sure it would. I'd like them.
Someone was asking about why we modelled the light ray as a curve. I'm trying to think who that was.
Why is there no parallel rays, but only crepuscular rays?
Sorry to say this, but crepuscular rays are actually parallel. It's just perspective that makes them look the way they do.
Or is it the object's location that's causing it?
Well,
but why is it you have a rebuttal? You have an excuse for everything, but no data to back up why the excuse is true.
Just saying, well, you see them as parallel doesn't make your answer true or correct.
You just say it, and that makes it true, right?
Okay. I will bring up photos from the ISS of clouds.
Oh, so you mean the images that have been doctored and photoshopped?
Or you could just look at the ISS for 10 minutes and have a look.
Those aren't photos.
Well, screenshots then. Still shots.
They're not screenshots.
Everything's CGI.
How do we
pictures.
get? How do we? And I mean, when I say we, you. How do you deal with the International Space Station footage showing curvature of the Earth and the maths and the heliocentric cultists or scientists saying that you shouldn't see curvature from up there? How do you juxtapose that position?
Right. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Because the maths and data tell you shouldn't see curvature of the Earth in the International Space Station like the math.
You're cutting out.
Sorry, mate.
Neil deGrasse Tyson is wrong.
What's the name of that other
So,
scientist
so
guy?
you know better. You know better than Carl Sagan and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Hold on. What were you saying, Jedi?
I was trying. Oh, yeah. Who's the other quote unquote scientist? Has
Carl
the
Sagan, right?
observatory? No, not Carl Sagan. Someone else.
Yeah.
I'll find it. Sorry, guys. Do apologise. I will find
Michio
it.
Kaku, you're talking about?
No.
Bill Nye.
No. Not one of these guys. Somebody else.
No.
There's a director of an observatory somewhere as
Oh,
well.
here we go. So obvious just posted it. Let's say we are at the elevation of the ISS. They're about 250 miles above the Earth. So if we calculate the horizon line for the ISS, it's about 1,400 miles. If you're sitting at that point looking 360 degrees, what would the horizon look like? It would look flat. That's incorrect.
Well, you don't even have to do all that. You can just look up the manufacturer for all the cameras and lenses that they use on the ISS and see what kind of lenses are used.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what lens. If the horizon is below eye level, it will necessarily be curved, regardless of the
Horizon's never at below eye level. It always rises to meet eye level on height.
Would you like to see hundreds of my measurements? Would you like to see hundreds of my measurements of the horizon below eye level?
Yeah, I'd agree with you as well. The horizon doesn't rise up to your eye level. How could it? Sorry, my friend.
It's your perspective. That's all you can see.
The horizon is measurably below eye level. I've measured it literally hundreds of times.
But it does rise with the observer. It doesn't rise to the eye level, but it does rise. When you rise, it rises as well in reality.
No.
Yes,
No, the higher you get, the bigger the angle is.
It's not... Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the higher you get, the bigger that angle is down to the horizon. The gap gets bigger as you get higher.
Okay, and what's the horizon again? Is that Sorry, thank you. Is that curvature of the Earth, or is that still an optical phenomenon? What is it now?
It's a refracted horizon, right? The horizon is both in its refracted position and the light is taking a curved path from a physical position to reach your eye.
I'm not debating. I just want to make sure I understand your position correctly. That's all.
Yeah. So the horizon, right, is the last drop of water that you can see. It's a physical drop of water that the path that the light takes from that drop of water to your eye is curved. And therefore you see it in its apparent position.
So if the atmospheric conditions were correct and I wanted to play hide and seek with my friend, on one day he could hide behind a hill, and on the other day, if the atmospheric conditions were correct, the hill would appear behind him.
Not behind him, no. No. The hill is in front of you.
Yeah.
No, right. The hill, you're talking about a hill moving, right? That's not what's happening. The droplet of water is not moving. It's a different droplet of water.
Okay. So when we compare this to, say, I don't know, the Black Swan image, for example, where the horizon isn't where it geometrically should be, as in my friend hiding behind the hill, if the atmospheric conditions are correct, the horizon, the top of the hill, is going to be pushed backwards.
Yes.
Thus revealing my friend.
It's at a different place, right? It's not one drop of water moving. It's a different drop of water. So when you say the hill is moving, no, the hill's not moving. It's a different hill.
It's a different. He's now in front of a different hill.
The hill, whatever it's blocking, I can't think of any other better way to explain it. It's not a hill. It's not like you pick up a hill and move it to a different position. It's just the point at which things start to get blocked is a different place. It's like Taboo Conspiracy says, did the hill just magically get moved 10 miles? No.
But it looks like it did, because with reference to the horizon, that's the curvature of the Earth, the top of the hill, if you will, right? So when we look at the Black Swan observation, that hill is not where it physically should be. It's projected backwards. Right?
Yeah, the horizon is in a different place.
Cool. So it's optical.
It's not the one.
So it's optical then.
Everything you see is optical. Are you trying to distinguish it from something physical?
Well, yeah, if it was physical, it would be the curvature of the Earth, wouldn't it?
No, the refracted horizon is physical.
Hold on. Why can't I see things at distance, like a boat, the bottom of it, for example? Is that because there's a curve in the way physical obstruction?
Yes.
So it is physical then?
Yes.
When it's blocking and not.
And it's refracted.
and refracted. So when I can't see the bottom of a ship, for example, what horizon's that? Is that the physical one, or is that the physical one that you've magicked somewhere else?
It's physical. Horizon's always physical.
So that
You're
is
trying to make.
You can't have
hold
both.
on.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. They're not mutually exclusive terms. Physical and optical are not mutually exclusive. Physical and refracted are not mutually exclusive.
So
But for the example, you can't have both.
So physical, I can point at it, touch it, pick it up, and throw it. Physical. Optical, only viewable within my eyes, doesn't actually exist on the Earth. As in, I can't
So
go to
if
the horizon.
Well, you can go to the point. So from your observed position, the horizon is at a point.
I
You
can't
can
go
go
to
to
the-
that point. It's
I
no
can't
longer
go-
your horizon.
Yeah, exactly. So the horizon is optical because whenever I move, I might think I'm going to the horizon that I once saw, but when I get there, I'm fucking hell, I look around and the horizon's all around me again. So
Yeah. You can understand that, right?
Yeah. But do you understand that's optical?
No, that's nothing to do with. Let's ignore refraction for a second. Let's say we're in a vacuum, right?
Okay.
And you've got a purely geometric horizon now. Can you go to that horizon?
On what? On a flat surface or a ball? What are you talking about?
On a ball, right? Can you go to that horizon?
I don't know.
Well, if you get there, it's no longer your horizon, right?
Hold on, but when I get there and I look around, I see a different horizon, right?
Yeah, so it's no longer your horizon, but can you go there? I don't know. Depends what you mean by it.
Well, it's not physical, as in I can't go there. It's only viewable through your eyes. It doesn't exist in nature unless you say the horizon's curve of the Earth.
We're looking at water, right? That water is physical. It's a physical thing that you're looking at.
So why doesn't it reflect light from above like a curved surface then?
What do you mean?
You know what a mirror is? A flat surface that reflects light. Why does this water that we're talking about reflect light from above like a mirrored surface? Flat one.
Mirrors can be curved.
Yeah, they can be. Like, we understand what halls of mirrors are, but when they're curved, they distort images. So, like I said, why does the waters of the Earth reflect light from above like a perfectly flat mirrored surface? You're saying that water... Well, then you're an idiot. Because have you ever looked at water?
Yes.
Awesome. So you notice the reflections upon water. Say, for example, your swimming pool down at your local leisure centre. It's reflecting the lights on the ceiling like a perfectly level mirrored surface, right?
How are you establishing it's perfectly level? Perfectly flat, sorry.
Well, it's reflecting light from above like a perfectly flat mirrored surface, mate. There's no distortion unless you think there is, and I'd like you to take me to it.
All right. How are you distinguishing between a perfectly flat mirror and, let's say, a pool with, I don't know, a quarter of a millimeter of curvature?
Because a circus mirror makes a distorted image. That's how.
Right. Yeah, how much curvature is in one of those mirrors?
Hold on. When you're in an aeroplane, that's 250 miles towards the horizon, whatever the fuck you think it is. So you've got a 250-mile view out of one side of an aeroplane looking at the waters below. It's a perfectly flat mirrored surface.
Is it?
Yeah, that's how it's reflecting light now, isn't it? Otherwise, it would be distorted now, wouldn't it?
How much curvature is in one of those silly mirrors at the circus? A lot.
Don't know.
Right?
How much curvature is over 250 miles?
Yeah, when you're looking at one point of it, not much. Trying to distinguish it from flat, not very much. How are you distinguishing it from flat?
Because it's an exact mirror image. That's how.
Is it?
It's that's how.
I'm looking at the images in the chat, right?
Like the Bolivian salt flats, for example.
Right.
So a perfectly flat mirrored surface that reflects the light from above, like a perfectly flat mirrored surface, if it was curved and distorted, then it wouldn't reflect light from above like a perfectly flat mirrored surface, now would it? Because we know what Hall of Mirrors does.
Right. But halls of mirrors have extreme curvature.
Awesome, and so does the Earth, apparently, but we don't observe it because the waters and the salt don't reflect light from above like a curved surface would.
It's got a radius of a circumference of 40,000 kilometres. That's very low curvature. How are you distinguishing, like by looking at the ocean, like the reflection, how are you distinguishing between flat and curving at 8 inches per mile squared?
Well, it's not looking curved now, is it?
You can see.
I don't know how to tell the difference.
Hold
How
on.
are you telling the difference?
Oh, why the fuck are we debating a globe earther that doesn't know the difference between a flat surface and a curved one?
He doesn't
know
know
what the
it's
difference
flat
is.
or-
I'm asking.
Yeah, you don't know the difference. You just admitted it. You don't know the difference between flat and curved. Thank you very much.
No.
Everybody heard it.
I said, I'm asking,
It's a waste of
how-
time, sunshine. No, you're a waste of time.
how are you telling the difference from these photos between flat and curved?
Fucking looking at it, mate.
Well,
You
we
don't
wouldn't
know
ask. We wouldn't ask you, Roohif. I now know this.
Yeah.
So, have you modelled what a curved surface the size of our globe would look like with these photos?
Yes, see Black Swan.
That's the black swan doesn't have a
Now
reflection
you're
in it.
begging.
The sun.
Now you're begging the question for a begging the question.
No, you're saying these photos are flat, therefore not curved, right? Therefore, you must say this is not what a curved thing looks like.
Well, you're saying that water bends.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Can you
sorry.
demonstrate that other than in a single droplet or small enough size? Anywhere else in the
The
world?
curvature. Yeah,
You're
I've demonstrated
literally
drop over
going
distance.
You're
you
literally going against creation itself. That how water fundamentally behaves in this reality. You guys are literally going against natural law.
I don't think so.
Yeah. No, you don't think so, but we know so.
Right. I think gravity is a natural law. You might disagree with that.
It is not.
Gravity has not been proven, and you can't manipulate it, and it never has been manipulated.
Yeah. You're
Yeah. Tell me
No,
when
you
it's,
say that, but you can't prove it.
go look when
again.
it's
You're on the quantum eraser train, and it's
Google me when
pretty
it's
bad.
been manipulated. Please do that.
Again, you're on the really terrible.
Don't say quantum eraser's name again.
Okay, you're on this really bad understanding of what science is. First of all,
Hold on. No.
And you
Hold
think
on.
that you
Sorry,
think
Sonny.
that
Do apologise. If you've got a problem with the scientific method, I want you to go and get a reference citations of what you think the scientific method is.
sure, I will find you many citations where people are saying science doesn't prove things. Then what will you do with those citations?
Well,
That's
then
not a
I will
citation.
sorry, Sonny. Sorry. I will try to tell you, probably not them, but you, that science does prove things. That's why it's in the hypothesis called the alternate and the null. You will either way demonstrate one thing to be true. It will either cause the effect or won't cause the effect, therefore demonstrating something to be true. Right?
Well, you've falsified something. You've falsified a positive claim. So do I have to say science doesn't prove positive claims to be true? Is that
No, science deals with cause and effect relationships, doesn't it?
okay? Okay, but does science prove positive claims to be true?
If I demonstrate something causes something to happen, then what have I demonstrated to be true? That this causes that to happen? Have I demonstrated? What do you mean? If I show you that, for example, heat boils water, for example, right? Then I've demonstrated to you that physically heat boils water, doesn't it?
Okay, so you will apply heat to water.
Yep, and it will boil at 100 degrees.
Boil.
Yeah,
I agree. And you,
what's the cause of water boiling then?
I agree. It's heat. I agree. Don't worry, but I don't think it's been proven. Can you write a logical syllogism that proves it?
I can do an experiment where if I apply heat to water, the fucking thing will boil.
I agree that it will.
Awesome. So I've demonstrated. Fuck writing. I've demonstrated in the physical natural world before your very eyes. Here's a cup of coffee. That water gets hot when you apply heat to it.
Yep.
Awesome.
My challenge has been out there for years.
Science deals with cause. I'm finished. Science deals with cause and effect. The effect is boiling water. The cause of boiling water is heat. I mean,
I agree it is.
Good. So, being as I've just very quickly just built a hypothesis for you, and in your head's done the experiment because we can boil water, you'll understand that I've just demonstrated something to be true.
Okay, so let me write.
Don't need to fucking talk about anything else then.
Okay, let me write your logical syllogism. All right. If I apply heat to water, then it will boil. I do apply heat to water, it boiled. Therefore, heat causes water to boil. You've just done an affirming the consequent fallacy.
What? You do understand that that's literally a hypothesis. Right?
Yeah, if my theory is true.
Yeah. But I've physically demonstrated it to be true. I haven't formulated a logical syllogism falsely, my friend, because I've physically demonstrated it to be true. You do understand that affirming the consequent, although a bad logical argument, doesn't necessarily prove what the person is saying to be false or not. What will demonstrate things to be true is when I physically make you a cup of coffee with boiling hot water, because I applied heat to it, right?
Yeah, I know.
Good. So science proves things then. Fucking idiot.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Write
does.
me a logic.
The logic is this. It's a supposition into a cause and effect relationship, independent and dependent variable, right? Now, that's science. When we physically test it in an experiment, yeah, that's science too. Have you got a problem with science, Roohif?
No,
Sounds
I
like you
don't.
fucking do. Well, you do,
No.
don't you? So what is science then, mate? What do we answer? What's the question in science?
Yeah, providing explanations for things we see in reality.
Yeah, so, and what do we see in reality? When we're dealing with science and the physical...
Some phenomenon.
Yeah, and what's the question about the phenomena in science?
What is the explanation for that phenomenon?
No, what's the cause of the phenomena? Right?
Or the explanation, either way.
Yeah. But we want to physically test what we presume to be the cause in the experiment, don't we?
Right. Do you want me to write a syllogism for you?
No, I don't want you to do fucking anything apart from pay attention, listen, and agree. It's not that we've got a problem with the scientific method. It's you're a fucking idiot and you don't want to use it properly because you think you're on a spinning ball. You want to turn around and say science doesn't prove things. It's literally built into the hypothesis. You either will or will not demonstrate something to be true.
Okay. So let's go a little bit abstract. If my hypothesis is true, then I expect to see something in reality when I do my test. All right, I do my test and I do see that in reality. What's my conclusion? Therefore, my hypothesis is true?
Did you vary and manipulate your independent variable to see if it caused the phenomena?
Sure. I applied more or less heat or whatever.
Then there you go. You can try to build an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy out of it. But like I said to you no less than fucking a minute ago, it's not proof either way, because even formal logical fallacies can be true.
They can be true, but when you say
the
science
way that we
proves
demonstrate
things,
that is with science.
when you say science proves things,
yeah, one way or the other, I've demonstrated
with logic.
No, it's a physical bloody experiment, mate.
I agree.
We've only built, so we build the hypothesis and test it. That testing it bit, that's the experiment bit.
Right.
So
in what sense are you using the word proof?
Proof? Have I proven that this is causing that to happen?
Yeah, have you?
Or as I've proved it hasn't caused it to happen?
What
one way or another, dumb fuck, I've proven something to be true. It either does or doesn't cause it to happen.
Yeah, that's called a
Please say again. Okay, so science does and doesn't prove things, right?
It falsifies things, yes.
There you go. Beauty. So science is useful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Awesome. Have you got a scientific experiment that proves your shape of the Earth?
Shape and rotation, sure, yeah.
Hold on, you just said that science doesn't prove anything. Now you've just tried to give them not science.
My apologies. Okay, it doesn't prove it. I have a scientific experiment.
What is your independent and dependent variable within this experiment? Exactly.
He's trying to falsify flat and motionless, right? Is that what he's doing? Falsifying flat and motionless?
Come on, man. Hold on.
Testing a hypothesis.
Hold on. He's trying to give me a scientific experiment that proves the shape of an object, not cause and effect. Right? So it's a stupid fucking question. If you knew anything, you'd be able to say science doesn't answer that question. It's not a cause and effect fucking question, Chris. Jedi. That's me, by the way. So when I ask you, that's fine. When I ask you if it's a scientific experiment that proves the shape of an object, you should say no. Science only deals with cause and effect. Right?
No, I would say science doesn't prove things, but I have a scientific experiment that is consistent with the Earth being a sphere and rotating.
Excellent. So what's your naturally observed phenomena, something happening?
Yep, sunset.
Sunset. What's the
stars rotating?
Sorry. Sunset. What's the cause of sunset?
My explanation is that the Earth could be that the Earth is a rotating globe.
Awesome. And can you physically test that in an experiment, or are you just doing pseudoscience?
Yes, I can physically test that hypothesis, yes.
Awesome stuff. So you can physically manipulate the rotation of the Earth?
No, that is a very bad understanding of science. I won't mention who you got it from, but that's a very bad understanding of science.
Okay, so being as we're trying to figure out the cause of a phenomenon...
The explanation, yep.
And the cause... that you're going to physically test in an experiment, because if you don't have an experiment, you don't have science. That's what pseudoscience is. If you don't have an experiment.
Right, I have an experiment. So my proposed hypothesis to explain why I see star rotation and sunsets and that sort of thing is that the Earth is a rotating globe. That's my guess. Okay.
Awesome. That's a great guess. Now
I'm going to propose independent variable, right? That's the independent variable.
No, that's not the
you're going to manipulate
yet. We're not at the experiment yet.
But hold on. We need to be building a hypothesis first.
Yeah, my hypothesis is that the Earth's a rotating globe.
Okay, and that's your observed phenomena, is it? Rotating globe?
Rotating stars and sunsets. So I have a guess and go, is it us rotating or is it the sky rotating?
What's your next question?
Sunsets have counter
I've got my hypothesis.
I've said this 5 times now.
Right.
What's your next question, being as you've got a phenomena? What's your next question to build your hypothesis?
Right, what could explain this?
What caused that to happen, you fucking idiot?
Well, again, we disagree. Science is in the field of giving explanations for things.
Science is in the field of demonstrating what causes stuff to happen, right?
I disagree.
Oh, that's a problem. You're going to have to go and get a citation.
Well, I disagree. Anyway, so I have my hypothesis.
You don't.
That's my proposed explanation.
What's your independent and dependent variable within your hypothesis?
Okay, we haven't got independent and dependent variables in hypotheses. They are in experiments.
Hold on. Scientific method. First step, observe a natural phenomena, because we want to build a hypothesis and ask the question, what caused that to happen? Brilliant. We've got our independent and dependent variable. We're now going to test these.
Not in a hypothesis, no.
No, you don't have dependent and independent variables in the hypothesis.
Correct. They are in the experiment.
So what's in the hypothesis then?
It's just your proposed explanation.
Yeah, your supposition into a cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect. Cause, independent variable. Effect, dependent variable.
We will disagree on that.
Well, then you're a fucking idiot.
Okay. Anyway, I have my hypothesis that the Earth is a rotating globe.
That's not a hypothesis. We're literally going to go round and round in circles. No, it isn't. Because of what I've just said. If you don't understand what I've just said, a person who doesn't know the difference between a curved surface and a flat one, then I don't know how to help you.
Can we just, I don't know, Google the word hypothesis and see what it says?
And you can do what the fuck you like, Sunshine.
Okay. I've just Googled it.
Okay, we'll come up with
a supposition or proposed explanation.
Awesome. Into what?
A supposition or proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation.
Awesome stuff. The question we're asking in science, what are we looking at?
Say it again.
I'll just read the live stream, mate.
Read the live stream.
While you're doing that, why did you increase in your video? Why did you increase the radius of the Earth due to standard refraction?
That's how you account for it geometrically.
So you've given yourself. So no, not now, but you've given yourself more drop.
No, we model the light ray as a curve, right? The light ray is modeled as a curve. And the Earth is modeled.
I'll keep watching, but I just wanted to add that in.
Okay.
I'll get back to you later.
Yeah, we'll have a talk about why 7/6R exists, what it does.
You just increased the Earth's size
to account for the curved light ray. It's a way of making the light straight
How do you know that was that is the measurement for those conditions that day? Everything.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yep. These are all good
You've
questions.
just given yourself more drop, so that's 68 meters that you measured in that small angle over 32 kilometers. Should be smaller. Yeah. So we're coming
refraction,
close.
yeah.
We're almost close to error now.
No,
Almost
we're not.
close to your drop over error.
We're nowhere near us. Nowhere
Yes,
near
we
it.
are.
We're not.
All right, we'll get back to you anyway.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll talk about 706R and why it exists, and I'll show you a GeoGebra thing. Where are we at? Yeah, I can cherry pick definitions of hypothesis as well. I can even find citations that say science prove things.
So you disagree that in your experiment you will be manipulating the independent variable to see if it causes the dependent variable?
No, we haven't got to the experiment yet. We're still in the hypothesis. We haven't got to an experiment.
And I'm asking you, do you disagree?
We do manipulate independent variable in an experiment, yes.
Right. So your hypothesis is if something, then sunsets.
A rotating globe would explain sunsets, yes.
If Earth turned, then sunsets. Is that your hypothesis?
No. My hypothesis isn't a then statement. It's just a supposition. I suppose that the Earth is a rotating globe. All right, it would explain sunsets.
You need to be observing something in nature and then kind of speculating on the cause.
Yes,
having an educated guess at the cause. Yeah. Right. So
a sunset.
Your hypothesis. That's supposed to be part of your hypothesis, not just I think the Earth turns.
Yeah, would it explain sunsets? Yes, of course it would. So it's a possible explanation. I'm going to
your
test
hypothesis
that explanation.
is right. Your hypothesis then is I see a sunset because I think the Earth is turning.
It's a possible explanation, yes.
Right. So your hypothesis
it's a possible explanation?
If Earth turned, then sunset.
My hypothesis is the Earth is a rotating globe. That's it. That's the hypothesis. Right? If that hypothesis is true, then yes, it would explain sunset. All right. Anyway, the hypothesis is simply Earth is a rotating globe. Now, there are some necessary consequences that flow from that hypothesis if it's true. All right. One of those necessary consequences is centrifugal force. A rotating body has centrifugal force.
We're dealing with the naturally observed phenomenon, We're dealing with the observed natural phenomenon that you observed. That's going to become your dependent variable in the experiment.
No, it's not.
Right?
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes. And your supposed cause, your presumed cause, right? Earth rotation is going to become your independent variable, which you have to manipulate to see if it causes your dependent variable.
That is a terrible understanding of science, and I'm not going to mention it.
It's written right there. It's citation right there in the live stream voice text for you to read. That's how you do an experiment.
I disagree with that citation.
Well, then you are wrong, because your opinion isn't fact. That is fact.
What a pagan.
Very quick question, Roohif. What's pseudoscience?
So-called science that is put forward as valid science, but doesn't adhere to any sort of rigorous method.
Any rigorous method.
Yeah.
So, being as your hypothesis is just a declaration.
Yep.
And being as you've admitted that we will be manipulating our independent variable, because you're really scooting on the edge of pseudoscience here, essentially.
No.
Really? Yeah. Because you said if it doesn't follow a method, I'm pointing this one out. You're not fucking following it.
I'm not following a really bad method.
What, the one that's over 700 years old? Are you serious?
Your opinion and view on bad doesn't make it fact substantial.
Okay, and neither do you. Just parroting some person that won't be named doesn't make it right either.
Or what I learned...
I'm not parroting anyone. That's common sense. Your opinion on something doesn't make it fact.
This is what I learned at school, in science class. How to build...
Here, I'm parroting my science teacher. Exactly, Jedi.
Fucking hell, man. We learned how to build a hypothesis in literally year 7. Don't know what it fucking is here now. First year at secondary school. It was quite easy. Guess what we did? We boiled fucking water with a Bunsen burner. Yeah.
Right.
But we most definitely learned how to build a hypothesis. What you're saying isn't going to pass you an exam, mate.
If my hypothesis is true, then I expect
and it's not
to
a
see
hypothesis,
some result in
it's
reality.
just a declaration. Again, it is not a hypothesis, a supposition into a cause and effect relationship. It's just a declaration based on your belief. I'm still trying to figure out, 1, what the observed phenomena is, and 2, what your presumed cause of it is, and then how you are going to vary and manipulate your presumed cause in the experiment you keep saying that we ain't got to yet. So I'm hoping we're going to fucking get there with the independent and dependent variable properly associated where they fucking should be. Okay. Jesus, you're an idiot, man.
The independent and dependent variables, right, are in the experiment. They are not in the hypothesis.
What are they then?
Independent variable is what you change, and the dependent variable is the effect of that change.
What are they then? In your your sunset idea, what's the dependent and independent variable in the experiment?
Right. If my hypothesis is true, then necessarily there will be centrifugal force. So I'm going to design an experiment that
dependent and independent variable in your fucking experiment.
Okay, latitude and weight. Latitude and weight. You got your answer. Latitude and weight.
Thank you. Latitude and weight. Which one is the phenomena? Which one's the presumed cause?
The phenomenon that I saw was rotating sky and sunset.
So you haven't answered my question. So how dare you turn around to me and say, there you go, there it is, when you haven't even given it to me. You haven't given it to me. You've just literally taken it away from me. I don't need anybody else's help. This is a cunt I'm talking to. You have literally just pissed down my back and told me it's raining sunshine. You've lied to my face within 5 seconds.
I have not lied to you at all.
You have. You've just taken it away. I asked you for it. You said, here it is. And then you took it away again. So I'll ask you again. What is the dependent and independent variable, please, sir?
The independent variable is latitude. The dependent variable is the weight of an object.
Awesome. So which one are you going to vary and manipulate?
The independent variable of latitude.
Awesome. What's latitude?
Your position on Earth. Distance from the equator.
How do you get the equator?
That's the midpoint of the tropics.
How do you get that?
Well, the tropics are where the sun is the furthest north or south that the sun goes. The midpoint of that.
You think it's got something to do with the sun? Oh, shit.
Yes. Of course it does.
How do we get latitude lines?
Well, yeah. Well, they are on a globe, but for sort of, what's the word? For diplomacy, they're the midpoint of the tropics.
No, I haven't asked you what they are.
Yeah.
I've asked you how you got them. You don't listen very well, do you?
Polaris of the sun, yeah.
Polaris and the sun. So Polaris, what to do with Polaris?
Yeah, your angle changed by 1 degree per 69 statute miles of latitude. 1 degree.
Yeah, so an angle to a star.
Yeah. Or the sun, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm talking specifically about latitude lines, and that's got to do with Polaris, hasn't it?
Well,
so you'll understand that to get latitude lines, that's elevation angles to Polaris, right?
Right.
Which requires the Earth to be level, because I said the word angle.
No, it doesn't. Oh, shit. You think we can't get an elevation angle on a globe? Do you honestly believe that?
How did you get your latitude lines?
Yeah, from angles to the sun or stars, yeah.
Not to star, to Polaris.
Sure, Polaris is fine.
How do you get an angle on a curved surface?
Yeah, you hang a plumb bob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Make something perpendicular to it. That's one direction. And then the other direction is the direction of the star.
Awesome stuff. Underneath the star, what's that called?
The GP.
Awesome. And what's the angle underneath the star?
Between what 3 points?
Between the floor and the straight line. Because you only need 2 lines. The one down from the star.
Right, so from the star to the GP, right? And what's the other line?
the floor.
Right, but the floor is curved, so what straight line?
Ah. So this is where we got from.
Yeah. You think it's a right angle? It's not.
But it is within celestial navigation. Pretty much every single... Hold on. Pretty much every single depiction, it's a picture, drawing, with crayons for you, shows a box underneath the GP of a star. You know what a box represents, don't you? A square. You know what that represents? That represents 90 degrees, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Right, so the cherry pick drawings you've seen...
No, doesn't it? Not cherry pick. This is how you do celestial navigation. We'll go round this again. Underneath the GP, you've got a 90-degree angle, haven't you? If you're going to say no, I'm just going to kick you out because you're lying.
It's not 90 degrees at the GP to the observer. You can kick me out.
I really need a citation for that, mate. Because you understand that every star's got a GP of 90 degrees, right?
Again, it's not 90 degrees at the GP. I have done celestial navigation. You have not.
Yes, I have. So underneath the star, there is not 90 degrees, right? How do you get your angle, mate? How far away is the GP, mate? You need to know how far away the GP is, don't you? Especially in the case of Polaris. Yeah, exactly. And what's between the ground position and you so you can get your elevation angle up? What do you do?
A curve is between me and the GP.
That's a bit of a problem then, because you can't measure angles off of curved lines.
Again, you hang a plumb bob, right?
Not hanging a plumb bob when it's fucking hell, it's like Groundhog Day. I'm in a ship at sea. I've got a sextant.
There,
okay, you're at sea.
Plumb bobs at sea, bro.
Yeah, we're going to be using a sextant in this instance, okay, Roohif?
Okay, I'm getting pretty tired of just being muted 3 seconds in for nothing. So we're at sea. We're using a sextant, right? We know because the Earth is a globe and our height above the water, what the angle will be between horizontal.
They didn't know this 400 years ago.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't.
Okay. Yes, they did. Mute me and I'll go.
Did they use sticks and shadows too? Did they use sticks and shadows out at sea? Yeah. Do they have a nautical sticks and shadow kit?
Yes. Timbo, is he from your country?
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
It seems to be going around in circles, and we need this 90-degree angle. I mean, we need this not 90-degree angle. Where's that?
I just don't know. I just don't know. I apologise again. I will not be lied to. I won't be lied to in front of people, and I'm definitely not going to fucking miss it. He gives me stuff and he takes it away from me. He's a slimy cunt.
Independent variable, dependent variable, and then stars, sun, moon spinning overhead.
Just God's sake.
Basically the same angles that it would have.
It's like your bearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your angle's like a bearing.
Yeah. Well, your relative bearing from your position.
Yeah, I thought you said something like you were trying to use it as a proof of something.
Well, it proves that there is a flat horizon because you're using a parallel axiom. All together, the whole system.
Well, there's the primary axis, which is vertical, and then from that you can get a horizontal, and then you've got the pitch axis, which is perpendicular to the angle of travel.
What we were taught was if you make a handgun, just like with your hand, have a handgun, and then stick your middle finger out to where it's going like left, so like perpendicular of where you're pointing. That's your yaw, pitch, and right there. That's your three angles right there.
It's parallel axiom.
Yep.
But what
that
relevance
proves
does that
right
have to
there the
horizon?
world's flat. That proves the world is flat, pretty much. It's like, yeah.
I will say this: bomb guidance software does use a flat plane when it comes to targeting.
And the Society of Flight. So if you go on the Society of Flight Test Engineers, give all that information out freely.
How does I don't understand how that yaw angle proves anything.
You can
so to have yaw, so like in the picture there where it shows the horizontal and the vertical in the current live stream chat, yaw would be like your finger sticking off from like 3/4 up of that vertical line, and it's spinning on that 90-degree angle there. But for that to happen, you need to have that horizontal ground plane. So therefore, it's indicative of that whatever is below your yaw, it has to be a horizontal plane. Am I correct on that, yaw, or am I?
Yeah, no, that's pretty close. I'm still trying to find. I mean, it is definitely.
I'm better with just like demonstrations and like physical things.
Right? Yeah, and I can't post pictures right now. If I posted a picture, it would explain it all, but I can't post them right now.
And I just post the wiki link. Like horizontal doesn't mean the surface. It's just perpendicular to vertical.
Well, you have to. So to have horizon, it's horizontal, correct?
To have yaw, you have to have a horizontal plane to be relative to, and if the world is a globe, then your yaw would not be possible, because how is it going to be relative if the place is somewhere else spherical? It's not possible.
That's what I'm saying. It's not related to the surface. It's just perpendicular to up and down.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Roohif, are you saying there's no such thing as? Are you saying there's no such thing as horizontal? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying horizontal is not. It's not a reference to the surface, the shape of the surface.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
So how they did build this city? We're using a plumb bob and a level, and you cannot see any curvature left and right. So that's the way reality works.
Right, building should have some sort of tilt or curvature somewhere.
Yeah, you should at that horizon. You should have some curvature at near the left or near the right, but there's none.
How much? Could there be
something? And there's nothing. This is what he said.
Well,
hang on, wait a minute.
Is there nothing?
Roohif, are you saying that you can't have a horizontal without a vertical?
Correct. Yes.
No.
You get horizontal.
How does the bubble level work?
By seeking the highest point of the tube.
Yeah.
Right.
Sideways, so you get a horizontal, yeah?
Yeah, but you've established a vertical. The bubble is trying to find the highest point of the tube. It's establishing a vertical.
Start from the beginning, so you got point. Okay, go ahead.
That's fucking lunacy.
Yeah.
That's how bubble levels work.
Well, let's see. You take a piece of paper, correct?
Yeah, from a fucking horizontal. From a fucking horizontal. I use the fucking things every day. You're a dumb cunt. You're a fucking dumb cunt. That's all you are, mate. You're a fucking dumb cunt.
Do you understand that the bubble is finding the highest point?
Bubble level works. Why do when you tip it on your side you get a vertical, but it's still from a horizontal fucking level? You dumb cunt.
Is the bubble finding the highest point of the tube?
Oh, it's not.
No shit, from a horizontal.
Right. If you're finding the highest point of something, you're establishing a vertical.
So how do you get the vertical? How do you get the vertical from a bubble level when it's fucking horizontal, isn't it?
Yeah, because you build a construction around it.
They use plumb bobs.
You fucking retard.
They use plumb bobs, and
what about a water level, mate? What about a water level with a clear tube? How does that work? That's a fucking horizontal, isn't it?
Yeah, if you find the midpoint between the two, what are they called?
A water level with a clear tube is a horizontal. It shows each side of the clear tube to an equal height. That's a horizontal.
Yeah, if you have two, what are they called? Two bowls or whatever.
You're a lunatic, man.
If you have two bulbs of, if you have two bulbs of a water level, however distance apart, the midpoint between those, you then draw a line.
It's not a midpoint. It's two high ends. That's the horizontal.
It's only horizontal at the midpoint.
Oh my god.
It's
That's
horizontal at each end.
No, it's not.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's demonstrably not.
Get a fucking tube of water, fill it up. You got two equal ends, hold them up level. Wherever the water sits on each end is a horizontal.
Yeah,
No, if you get to one end of a water level.
That's water level. They use on
water
level. I'm gonna post.
The line.
I'm gonna
That's
post
all it
one.
is, okay?
This is a water level. You can buy one, and you can make one, and you can make one. And I have watched this on the reality, not your fairy tale talk. Okay, I watched my friend in the big wall, and to find the perfect level in the two spots in this wall, he did use a water level. He did construct.
I'm sure
one.
he did.
So my challenge to you is go to a flat area, a flat land, like a salt lakes, and use this one. You can use sticks, and between those, show me curvature. At 1 mile or 2 miles, use a water level. Use a water level and show me curvature.
Yeah, I got to find the video. But there was a guy who constructed a.
He doesn't know what the water level
I know what a water level is, Dimbo.
What is it then? Explain it. Explain it.
Yeah, you fill a tube up with water, make sure there's no air bubbles in it, right? But you're claiming that that's a horizontal. It's not.
How can it not be a fucking horizontal? That's what we use.
Right. If you get at one end of that water level and you use an auto level then to shoot to the other end of the water level will be below horizontal.
How the fuck do you get that?
Are you kidding me?
Are you fucking
fucking gone, dude. You're literally
fucked in the head.
Reality denier.
You're a fucking idiot, mate. You're even worse than I thought.
The water itself is level, dude. The water itself is level.
Hey, man, you stop talking over the top of me.
A dog makes more sense than him.
Let me find the video. Hold on.
A water level, not a bubble level. We're talking about a water level.
I understand what a water level
You
is.
understand? You know the ones that bricklayers use?
Yep.
Yep. How can you get one end lower than the other on a water level?
It is lower from each end. If you stand at one end of a water level, the other end will be below horizontal.
How is that possible?
It's a fact of reality. It just is.
How? Explain it.
Yeah, get an auto level. Right?
Why do you need an auto level when you got a water level?
Because the auto level establishes a horizontal, the water level does not.
Dude,
a water level doesn't establish a horizontal.
Correct.
You are a liar.
Why do you think brickies use it to build houses?
Because they approximate a horizontal.
Oh, you're a fucking man.
I've got to find this video. I've got to find the video.
A water level. You are dumb.
He's out of here.
That's just a disingenuous argument. It's out of bad faith.
Wrong, man. Sorry.
He's a reality denier.
Timo, you just came out of nowhere, bro.
Water levels don't show fucking level. Get the fuck out of here.
Listening.
I see you've all met Roohif then. All right.
Oh, mate. What a fucking retard.
I'm glad you caught
bad, but holy Christ.
A water level that brickies use is not level.
Yeah, right?
It shows a vertical.
They're not measuring, they're approximating, by the way.
Yeah, dude, I wouldn't even give him 2 more breaths. I would just be like, peace out.
Yeah, after he said they approximate, they don't do measurements. It's like, no, you're done. I'm sorry.
And then after he was just mocking you pretty much after that. I mean, after the fact that he was saying, oh, yeah, well, it does and then it doesn't. And it approximates. Yeah, the guy was a clown. He was just out here a clown.
When I heard him jump in and I went, oh, here we go. What's he going to do now?
Be a dick. Don't be surprised when he's a dick.
Now I know why you were yelling at me today.
No, you're right, y'all. Like, to have y'all, and when you have your roll, you're pitching your y'all, a horizontal round plane is required for that to exist.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's interesting that triggered him now.
I lost my train of thought.
It's probably more shit he wasn't thinking of prior to before, and once you put it together for him, he's just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, the aviation. If you really study aviation, it just gives it away that it has to be a flat plane to work, and also with how
you don't have to believe me. You can look it up yourself. But I always tell people to do their own research. But like, if you actually do like research on like military like bombing systems and our aircraft systems and stuff, everything is treated as if it is a horizontal, non-rotating plane. Everything. It's in our instruction manuals. It's in our teachings. It's in our schooling. I went through it personally. Like,
yeah. It follows a parallel axiom, which also, again, yeah,
cannot exist on a globe.
Exactly. So
I know everything contradicts itself. It's frustrating. I think that's the biggest way I described waking up to flat Earth is it's so upsetting and frustrating.
Well, it's like, and what the screens are looking at too? They're flat screens with the circle on, like they're all the radar, everything, all that stuff. It's just like, what the hell? It's like, anyway. You could tell he was smiling and laughing while he was talking. He was just sitting there.
He's just rage baiting.
Oh yeah, he was gaslighting.
I swear that guy, he's paid to be annoying. He's paid. He's like,
like you said, he's a character. Like he's a character.
Mm-hmm.
Tags! What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.